Hope everybody's having a beautiful day. You already know here in Southern California, it is lovely today. Nice and sunny, nice and warm. Not too hot, just about right. Decided to hop on, see what everybody was getting themselves into. What's the talk of the town? What's the word on the curve? You heard me. You already know. We right here chilling. Decided to hop on and see, you know, what's everybody doing. Don't forget to check out, the videos I dropped on this channel and on my other channel yesterday. Or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. For those who were asking. And I am working on one for the other channel, right? On neighborhoods. So that's becoming, I know it's taking a while. It's just getting all the information, kind of lagging it. Homies tend to lag it, right? But more homies already came through, so we're moving in the right direction. What's cracking like it, Mr. Pasa? What you getting yourself into, Ishi? Esa es la buena vida. How's your Monday going? Let me see. Let me move this out of the way. I'll put it up here. I wish I could just fucking, remove this or something. Or put it somewhere where it doesn't bother me. Back to reality at work. Back to life. I feel you. No queda otra. It is what it is. Como dicen, ¿no? How was your weekend? ¿A toda madre? She was cracking over here. All you heard was pure sirens. Talk about the NWO. Hey, you know what? Trip out on this. That angle was a street angle. Like, they literally played it off like a street gang. They did. They played it off like gang members, with the graffiti, the angles, the initiations. Yeah, they legitimately. As a matter of fact, in one of the promos that Hulk Hogan gave, he had said that he was kicking it with some woods. And he started going into this fucking gangster talk, bro. That he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but that was funny as fuck though. Like, bro, why you acting like you know about the streets, Hulk Hogan? Relax, my guy. That shit was funny though. Like, güey, ¿qué onda? I got a good kick out of it though. What's cracking like in Derek? Did you ever think the movie Straight Outta Compton didn't showcase everything about the rest of the members? Yeah, well, it's gonna be kind of hard to fit it all in one movie, because their career, was pretty extensive, right? And then having to dive into each and every member, their background and their situation, it was gonna take up a lot of screen time if you wanted to show like exactly everything, right? And there's only, the film could only be a certain amount of time, So I feel like a lot of stuff had to be left out, you know what I mean? Just because if not, it would have been like a fucking 5-hour long movie. You get what I'm saying? So, and you already know when you rush through something, it's not gonna be, perfect, right? And like I said, and not only that, but when you're telling a story from your point of view or from your angle, right? That still leaves the other person's side of the stories, like Death Row and all of that, right? Hearing their, take on matters, right? So then that's absent, right? So it's only, you're only getting a one-sided version, right? Like me, I never base my decision off of of a story off of just hearing it from one side, like when people tell me like what I think, like, well, I got to hear that other person's side of the story now, you know what I mean? And then I'll give you my conclusion. I'm not going to go and base my opinion based surely just on one side. I got to hear both sides of the story and then I'll give you my thoughts. You get what I mean? Like, that's how I work. But most people tend to just hear one side of the story, bro. And with that, they run with it. And it's like, bro, you didn't even hear the other person's side of the story. You know what I mean? You got to hear both sides. You can't just make a decision off of one side. And people don't like that. Why? My side's the one that's telling the truth. Bro, I'll come to that conclusion myself, bro. Because you're able to tell when somebody is exaggerating, when somebody's sugarcoating shit. You're able to tell, you know, when they're trying to, you know, paint it some type of way, right? So I hear both sides, because both sides are going to do it. You know what I mean? So I hear both sides, and then I decipher all the shit. You know, I remove all the shit that I know that they're doing, right, when they're trying to persuade you. You know, I grab that, I throw that out the window because that shit don't count because they're trying to persuade you. So that in itself is already blown out of proportion or whatever the fuck. You know, so I look, you know, I look for the truth in there. Because you're able to see the truth, bro. And you're able to tell when somebody's trying to fucking fool you. Or at least, you know, if you know what to look for, you know how somebody's trying to fool you. Just getting ready for work. That's right, my boy. Can you say my name? Like your username? Just shit me pants like a gamer. That's cool, my guy. It's not gonna work. It's not letting me. Oh yeah, my channel's not monetized. I don't monetize my channels. Not in it for the money. But thank you, I appreciate that. I got offered a master level position. That's right, my boy. Damn, doing your thing. For I'm not talking about sausage party wrestling. Forget about the real interview. The New World Order? The conspiracy group? I already made several videos about that. You know, in those videos, I basically showcase that you're not able to have a group that regulates the world. The reason for that is because in order for you to have individuals of that minded, they would have to be like, you know, sociopaths, you know, psychopaths, you know, Machiavellianism, you know, but they must suffer some type of personality disorder for them to try to rule the world, right? And if there's one thing that we know is that personalities like that can't get along with each other. You know, you can't have like even like narcissists. One narcissist can't get along with another narcissist because everybody's gonna want to be the top dog. You get me? And in order for you to control the world, several people have to be on board, right? And several people of this mindset have to be on board. And they're just not going to be able to coexist with each other. They're not going to be able to agree with each other. You get what I mean? You see it on a smaller level with gangs or mafias and stuff like that. You see them how they're always killing each other and everybody's trying to be the top dog. You know, but even it happens in even in work related places as well, right? Because it, you know, some positions of power do require people to be, you know, narcissists and psycho. As a matter of fact, there is non-violent psychopaths and sociopaths in society, right? And they tend to have CEO positions, you know, position of power where they get to, you know, your fate is in their hands, you know, whether you know, keep your job or lose your job. This is real shit. You guys could go look it up if you guys, you know, don't believe me, right? So therefore, just be, and not only that, but you even see it like when you know somebody who's a narcissist or so, you know what I mean? And they just can't get along with another person who's like them, basically, you know, pretty much, right? Like, how could you hate him? Bro, you guys act the same, but for that reason, though. So you just can't have them getting along with each other for them to even get this plan going. As a matter of fact, Nazis, you know, Hitler and his regime is a perfect example of that, bro. Anytime anybody kept, you know, climbing up the ranks and becoming of-minded like Hitler will have them whacked because they were becoming too much like him. And if there's one thing he knew is that he couldn't trust himself. He wouldn't be able to trust himself. That's why he would have them whacked when they got to him. You know what I mean? Because he was like, nah, you know what? I like you, bro. You're just like me. So for that reason, you gotta go, my boy. Because if I was me, I would take out me to get my spot. So I can't have you around. And that's just human behavior, bro. Throughout history, when people be like, where's the evidence? Look at history in itself, bro. You know, all these people who have ever tried to rule with an iron fist and control, all their stories ended the same, bro. Always. For a reason. Those people just can't get along with each other. Let alone keep a secret. Especially nowadays, bro. Keeping a secret, like, yeah, good luck with that. Motherfuckers can't even keep, a secret for 5 minutes, let alone fucking decades. And then what's even worse is that, these conspiracy groups talk about that these groups are secretive. The main thing about these groups is that they're secretive. That they don't want nobody to know. That it's all secretive, right? Yet they say that these groups are secretive and that's how they've been able to be under the radar for so long. Yet there's symbols and dollars and symbols at the airport. And when they're on the camera, they do symbols with their hands. For a fucking group that's secretive, you have them fucking plastering their shit all over the place. All these fucking evidence. If they're secretive, why would they have a fucking hand sign that they're doing on camera? Or why would they post it on fucking currency that everybody possess? If it's so secretive. You would think that they would do the opposite, no? What kind of shit is that? Yeah, like for a group that's so secretive, these people give them non-secretive movements. You know what I mean? And it's just common sense, bro. Like they make them so intelligent and so evil, yet they give them the most stupidest plans out there. Like you can't make somebody intelligent and then stupid at the same time. Like, no, they're trying to take over. So their plan is to trick Hollywood celebrities in order to influence society, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, that is, what kind of fucking, you would think that people that they would want to fucking manipulate and shit like that are the people that could actually make differences. But these people give them fucking Oprah and fucking, Donald Trump and all these other motherfuckers. And it's like, that's their grand scheme. That's their plan. That's the grand plan. What kind of a fucking plan is that? You know what I mean? Like, you can't make them smart and dumb at the same time, bro. That's not how it works. No, that's what they want you to think. Oh, yeah, of course that's what it is. Uh-huh. I knew there was going to be something. I know it wasn't just going to end right there. I am well aware. Can you play the song that is called... It's called what? And this... and how... Are you a homosexual? No, I'm happily married. How do I donate? No, it's cool, my boy. It's all good. I appreciate the support, though. DJ Yella made a book that tells a lot of his life behind it. Oh, yeah. I scoped that out, yeah. Super gay. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. It's not going to work, my guy. I don't get triggered by the internet. I'm not one of those kind of YouTubers, so sorry. Belltown in the house. That's right. Whoa, whoa. Shout out to Chandler. Try it like it, my boy. Grits or gumbo? I never tried grits. Have I tried gumbo? I don't even think I tried gumbo, my guy. When someone is trying to fool you, it's always to make the other person look so bad. It tells you it's really... Yeah, but they play it really slick, though. Some people's con game is it's on a whole nother level, bro. These people, remember, they've been doing it their whole lives, so there's some individuals that are really good at their craft, bro. Hello is... I'm going to drink an entire bottle of hard. Nah, don't do that, my guy. It's not a good idea. Smile. Life is beautiful. Yeah. Life's too short to be, dwelling on bull jive. Do you smoke? Sausage? What gay gang are you a part of? Why, you're looking to join? Do you play for the same team? No, I don't speak French, no. I know what you guys are trying to do. It's not going to work, my guys. We're just not those kind of YouTubers. I was reading the book 48 Lots of powers that gives us understanding. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah. You know, también. Hey, and gracias for, actually, putting me up on game on that. You actually say some real shit. History repeats itself. History always repeats itself. But you want to know why history repeats itself? Because of human behavior, you know? Because even though you have like these sick and disturbing individuals out there that commit some heinous crimes, they're not unique. There's been people like them, you know what I mean? Out there. It's just that many people are not aware of that, right? But these individuals exist throughout history, who behave in the same manner for the same reasons. Because we as humans have patterns to us, right? You know, we're built a certain way, right? And certain events in your life is gonna mold you a certain way, right? You're able, and that's how people have the, a foresight of how an individual's gonna turn out. It's not that they're psychic or they have some special ability. It's just that human behavior shows that this and this is gonna be the outcomes for this and this reason. That's why it's important, of how you treat people and how you raise an individual, because that will mold their whole entire future moving forward. Yes, killers and sickos and all that are bred, bro. They're made. You have rare instances where they're born, right? But that's rare. It's rare, when someone's born a psychopath, right? Compared to, someone, they're made that way because of the events in their life. Now, I'm not saying that justifies their behavior or their actions, you know what I mean? But it gives you an insight of why individuals turn out the way they turn out. Sometimes people, I guess they confuse the two. They think when somebody's breaking down why somebody's behaving in a manner that we're making excuses for them. And it's like, no, we're merely saying, that way people have an understanding is not justifying their behavior. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference when you're justifying compared to when you're just explaining somebody. Is that when people be like, oh, these people are talking about gangs, so that's like they're trying to like recruit people to join gangs, or why are they talking about that? But they don't say nothing about in school when we're being taught about the Nazis, people that have committed crimes and heinous actions on humanity. Is that glorifying the Nazis? They're not glorifying it, right? Yet over here, it's seen that they're glorifying it because they're talking about it. Makes no sense. So I guess they want us to be Nazis and they're glorifying Nazis, right? Because they're talking about it in school. Right? It doesn't make any sense, no? People's perspective on stuff, right? It's just like however people want to view it. It doesn't make it right. Or that what they're saying is truth. Yeah, a person with power cannot stand another person. Let's see. Yeah, they just can't, bro. Sorry, Shadow, but I think you're 100% wrong on this, brother. And you will see. Oh, no, you know what? Don't get me wrong. You're entitled to have your views and all that, and this is merely just my opinions. When I'm speaking on something, it's merely my opinion and how I view the things. I'm not saying that I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right, right? I'm just merely saying this is how I see it. I'm not one of these people that gets triggered when somebody sees it different than me, right? I understand that people are entitled to see it however they choose to see it. Like, who am I to think that that people have to think like me and live like me? You get what I mean? Like, I don't have an ego, right? So I don't get offended when people, see it different than me, right? That's the beautiful part of interaction, right? You guys all get to debate and throw your ideas out there, right? Why some people tend to get upset and, do all this? I don't know. I guess their egos get, hurt. I don't. And it's crazy, like when like I hear people's ideas out and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I get my ideas and then they start insulting and I'm just like, bro, I didn't even do that to you. Like, why do you feel the need to do it like now? Right? It's crazy though, bro. It's like, but I'm the childish one. Like, oh, what's this stupid gang member gonna know? Like, okay. I didn't say nothing about you, but all right, I guess. Mr. Adult. Fucking people. And it's funny because people feel like, that's the natural thing to do, that you must, insult the person back. Like that's became the norm. And it's like, no, that's bad behavior, period. Very gay. Why are people so obsessed with gay people for, though? That's the real question. Like, for example, me, like, when people are told, like, oh, well, they're gay, or like, if they are gay, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, to be honest with you, I don't care who the hell people sleep with. I really don't. I am not constantly thinking about who people are sleeping with and shit like that. Why would I think about shit like that? I only worry about who I'm sleeping with. That's it. I don't worry about what everybody else wants to do in their personal life. They're entitled to live and do whatever the fuck. Out there fucking wasting my time, protesting against, individuals, bro. Like, I ain't gonna be wasting my time on shit like that. I don't give a fuck who people are sleeping with. They can sleep with whoever they want. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, when people, are out there protesting these individuals, and it's like, why the fuck do people care so much, bro? Like, how does that affect your life? It doesn't, right? Like, but I guess it's to make people feel insulted or humiliated, right? Because if they were to be called that, they would be humiliated. So maybe that's why they do it, right? They feel like it would trigger the person the same as it would trigger them, thinking that we're all the same, but we're not. Like, we're just not 9 years old no more where we're gonna be worried about somebody calling you gay. Like, what am I, 10? Hey, he called me gay. Oh, mames. Yeah, we're just not 10 years old no more. We just don't care about stuff like that. What are your thoughts on terms white, especially used against other people? I think that's people getting triggered, bro. I think that's more, it has to do more with the person's emotions, right? When somebody feels like somebody's, whitewashed or that they don't really represent their culture, right? Like, one of the ones I hear a lot, right? Like, this person ain't Mexican, or he's representing Mexican in the wrong way. Like, how the fuck do you represent Mexican in the right way? Like, if you look at Mexico in itself, people live differently, in our country that are Mexicans, right? People have different views in our country, in Mexico. So people dress different, talk different, and all that, right? So what is a proper way of representing Mexico exactly? Or Mexican? That shit makes no sense. People are going to represent however they choose to represent, Just because you see somebody different than you doesn't make them any less, prideful of their heritage. And it was one argument that, I had seen, we were talking on another channel, right? I forgot which channel it was, man. And there was this individual, right? And he was hating on this, I guess another person who he's seen as wanting to be black, right? Or, like, he felt like he was more like urban, right? So he's like, you don't know about the raza. So then this individual started questioning him about his heritage, right? And this fool didn't even know, right? Like, the answers he was giving was like way off. And this person, was schooling him. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, that's embarrassing, bro. Like, you over here talking about brown pride and this and that. You know nothing about our fucking cultura. This person, you assume, and he fucking just schooled you, bro. Who's really raza then now, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, just because somebody's different than you, like, bro, Cortezes and Ben Davis do not make you raza, homie. When people be like, these vatos are different, homie. They ain't even raza. Like, why? Because they don't have Cortezes on? Fucking guys, bro. Stop already, man. Judging somebody without knowing them, homie, and trying to pass it off as facts is the most stupidest thing you can do, bro. Yet these people want to get brown pride and all this and that, bro. Know nothing about the fucking cultura. That fucking tattoo doesn't mean shit if you don't know nothing about it, our culture, bro. Fuck does that even mean? You're prideful, but you don't fucking educate yourself. You don't fucking know nothing about our fucking people. So how the fuck are you proud? And want to judge these people who actually care and actually educate themselves? Come on now, bro. I could only call it for what it is. And it's crazy. Like, like, for example, like, in our, with our people, right? You have important figures in our raza, right? Like Pancho Villa and Emilio and several others, right? And then when I made the video about Emilio Zapata being homosexual, I had all these people talking all this smack, right? And it's like, bro, go argue with the evidence and go argue with the artifacts in the fucking museums, bro. Go argue with his fucking letters, his own writing, bro. Go argue with that. I'm only merely speaking on what's there. You can go argue with the fucking evidence since you personally knew him and you actually would know, right? Compared to his own fucking writing. Come on now, bro. Like, I get nothing out of hating on an individual or trying to smut his name up. Bro, you can go fucking take your shit over there. And that's crazy because, people are prideful and it's like, oh, I have it tattooed on me. I'm not gonna, And it's like, bro, if you really, I guess, how could I say, wanted to show respect for this individual or you actually cared for his views and all that, then you would have educated yourself on him. And if you would have educated yourself on him, you would have known this information because this shit's been out there since forever. And tons of it. You would have known that shit, bro. If you really schooled yourself and educated yourself about him, you would have known this, bro. But you didn't, and you just, rushed to conclude, oh, he was a general and he led the revolution, so I'm going to tattoo it on me. On some vague shit. Should have gone and actually educated yourself. That way you wouldn't feel the way you feel right now. And then now trying to call me a liar because you're not willing to accept your error. That shit is crazy. Like, bro, how the fuck? I guess you would actually know, huh? Compared to all the fucking evidence and people that actually knew the individual. That shit is crazy, bro. And like I said, and when I said in that video, bro, let's say, if whatever he wanted to do with his own personal life, whatever, how does that change what he did for our people and, what he symbolizes? Not a fucking goddamn thing, bro. Nothing changes at all. People are too much insecure with themselves, bro. Like, why are you so threatened, bro? Like, do you have some insecurities with yourself? Because if you know who you are, then you wouldn't feel uncomfortable. Why should you? I'm not yes to say. If close friends. No, yeah. No, I understand. No, I'm talking about like other people when I'm, conversating with others. I'm not meaning like you in general. Did you know in incident history, people of royalty can only marry with their blood? Yes, there's actually been a lot of that, right? A lot of royal families were like that. In many countries, Portugal, Spain, Egypt, a lot of places, bro. You were only allowed to marry people of royalty. And, sometimes the people of royalty would be your own family members, right? You had brothers and sisters married. You had cousins, first cousins married. Yeah, bro, it was a whole lot of fucking goofy shit going on for many years. And the reason for it is because of selfishness and greed. They didn't want their fortunes or their power of ruling to go anywhere else but their own family. Because they wanted to stay in power. Even after death, they at least know that their bloodline is still the rulers. Right? Because that's the ultimate selfishness right there, bro. That's greed at its finest right there. But, you can't blame society back then because they were uneducated. Remember, education was a luxury before, right? So a lot of people were just left in the dark. So, a lot of people, like, for example, like back then, you were able to offer up your daughter, like when you weren't able to pay shit off, you were able to offer off your teenage daughter to these grown-ass adults as, as I guess, payments. And it was seen as normal. You had 30, 40-year-olds dating 15, 16-year-olds. In some countries nowadays, it still happens. You see a 15-year-old girl getting married with a fucking 30-year-old man in other countries. It's accepted. The reason it's seen as accepted is they think that there's nothing wrong with it because they're able to produce children or have sex. That automatically makes them an adult. When the science shows is the mentality that makes the adult, not the fucking, the The fact that they could have sex. That is the most stupidest shit ever. And that is the reason why it's seen as, unaccepted, because an older person could groom a child, right? Because that part of the brain hasn't developed yet, where they're not able to comprehend the situations, right? So these people could easily take advantage of those people. That's why they still need their parents around to make sure that it doesn't happen, right? That's the reason why children are not allowed to drink and do this and that, right? They wouldn't be able to handle that. And the reason why you see when people start, doing shit like that at a young age, they spiral out of control, bro, and it becomes an addiction for the very reason. These people don't pull numbers out of a fucking hat and be like, okay, the drinking age is going to be 21, ladies and gentlemen, 21. Right? Through science and research, we have, came to the understanding of this. That's a matter of fact. That's why they have removed the YAs, right? Because they through the research, it shows, it probably was a bad idea putting these fucking children amongst grown-ass adult criminals. Because that wasn't going to help them. It was only going to make them worse. And it took creating all these fucking batches of criminals for them to realize, maybe we're not going about this the right way. You think so, huh? But because they wanted to satisfy people's fucking egos, right? Like, fuck that. I refuse to fix the problem. I just want these motherfuckers to go to jail. Like, okay. Because at least like that, they're satisfied. Even though it's only going to create a chain of fucking, individuals to those same ones that they dislike. Because if they gave them therapy and shit like that, they wouldn't be humble with that. That wouldn't be an acceptable punishment to them. They want to see somebody pay. Because they want to satisfy their own fucking views, bro. They don't give a fuck about the bigger picture of shit. They don't want to fix the problem. They want to satisfy how they feel right now over actually fixing a problem. You get what I mean? So in other countries, you have individuals that, want to spin the web their way, right? But, you can lie with the fucking evidence, right? You can argue with that. Like I said, bro, but come on now. It's not acceptable. Because they're not adults. They're children still. And I guess if people were to have children, they would understand that, right? Like, you would see, okay, they're not adults, bro. Like, you wouldn't let your 15-year-old go out into the world and be like, okay, yeah, go ahead. You're an adult now. Right? So why the fuck would you think that that's okay for people to do this and that? Right? So it's sad that some countries still see it that way. You know what I mean? But like I said, some weird ass shit going on. You ain't gangster, son. Who's saying anything about gangster, bro? You can believe what you want. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Have you ever taken it? What? What's they want there? Which is, exactly. They didn't. Already going to show that they didn't care about their people, bro. They really didn't care about their people. Bro, have you ever? I am learning English. I am rich and I pay my son to be gay. That was actually funny. That said, I am rich and I pay my son to be gay. What the fuck? Where do people come up with this shit? Yeah, but selfishness, that's just crazy, bro. Yeah. These are some of the richest and most powerful families in the fucking world, right? But they didn't live lovely how people thought, right? A lot of them were born with defects, right? A lot of them didn't even live that long. And their defects, they were living a painful life, bro. They were suffering from all kinds of shit, back problems, and some couldn't even walk right. You get what I mean? Just because, genetically fusing, your genes and somebody of your, family, the genetic pool doesn't match, right? So that's what creates all these defects, That's why if the baby doesn't die and is actually born, it's going to be born with defects because the gene pool does not match, In itself, just the fact that people are willing to do that with their own family members is fucking sickening in itself, bro. you know. But the how can I say, the bloodline going is taught to them though, so because they don't know no better, right? Because like I said, education was a luxury before, right? So most of these individuals kept it going because that's all they knew. They didn't think that they were doing anything wrong because that's all they ever known. It was normal. It was being told by their parents that it's normal and stuff like that, and that's why it kept going. You get what I mean? Because the ones that they idolize and they're getting their schooling from are telling them that it's perfectly fine, right? And that's the reason why they kept doing it, because they didn't know no better. Like I said, the lack of knowledge before, right? People didn't know about all this and that, and you know what I mean. So that's part of, I guess, humanity, evolving, right? You live and you learn, right? That's how people, even now, I guess nowadays people will see some experiments that are seen like, how, these people are so stupid. Like, how couldn't they realize that this is gonna do that? Like, well, like I said, education wasn't, it wasn't, expanded like how it is now. Like, this now because you're being educated, and we have the knowledge that we have now, right? But before, they didn't have that luxury. So they, what they were finding out before, nowadays it seems like, well, that's some fucking my brother in kindergarten would have known that. Like, yeah, well, these people didn't have that knowledge, my guy. They're learning, they're growing. That's a part of humanity and evolving. So I guess I could see why people did the things before, right? Because they just didn't have the knowledge that we have now, right? So, but that doesn't excuse now people's behaviors now, right? Because we have this knowledge, yet people still don't give a fuck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, my lunch is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.